We had a great accomplishment today. 1,000 views. 1,000 views. So 1,000 individuals have seen my videos. I got stuff on my teeth. That's why I sound like that. I wanted to talk about the endeavor of free will, if we truly have it or not. Because our mind and our bodies is limited to the things we can perceive with our eyes, so are we truly free? And if we aren't, does not mean we're being controlled by a higher being or we're being controlled by something that is unknown. Because some things we cannot see with our human eyes. We can evolve our mind to create things that can make us see things that are otherworldly to the mind and the body, but everything else is just a valid reason to keep on evolving. Oh, I should have did this before, but it's too late, so I'm gonna just keep the video on. My main man, do stiff. My main man, dap me up, gang. Yeah. Lately I've been making some low quality work. I'm not gonna lie to you. I made a video, me getting something to eat. It wasn't really it was about the travel, not about the destination. But at the same time, I feel like that's not really me. But I recorded it, so it's still up there. I might take it down. I'm not usually the one to delete videos because mainly it doesn't really show the authenticity of. Cannot talk. The authenticity of the person, right? Holds no validity, I think. We had 1,000 views and over 40 hours, so somebody's watching. And you gotta speak with confidence, you know. You gotta keep the spirits high. The only reason I say that because I feel like every day I make a video, I lose a subscriber. Hurts my soul, but you gotta get over it. But then when I make another video, it goes up. I don't know if it's a glitch or it is, but it's just numbers, so it's just numbers, so you can't really get that mad, you know? Numbers don't really hold the power. Do you really think it is? The details of life is not a complicated thing, right? You live, you die, and then everything in between doesn't really matter if you don't embellish it or put a stamp on the label, right? But in that type of thinking, you can't just be nihilistic and be like, oh, nothing's going to really matter, so why will I do anything? Why do I try, right? Everybody's mind is different, right? There's so-called normal people, above average people, and then the people that's just below, right? And everybody wants to mark themselves as above or below, right? They'd rather be marked below so people can pity them and then be like, okay, you're not that bad, bro. You know? Or people just do it just because, but it's a broad statement to say that, right? You can't have a broad statement and be like, oh, everybody does this or everybody does that. That's a pretty big constellation prize if you say something like that, I think. What else was I supposed to talk about? I want to look, you know, everything's about what you perceive. Your eyes don't really tell the whole story. I wanted to go on a little ramble about how I think, but then I might look a little bit crazy because if you explain it the wrong way, you're gonna get passed aside as another loony person. So we all have an inner monologue, right? Well, some people don't, some people do. Some people can visualize things, some people others can't. You know, but I do. I got multiple. I feel like, but it tends to get pretty bad when I'm trying to sleep. You know, your thoughts start to run wild once you're trying to go to sleep, right? Once you try to hit REM sleep or whatever it's called. I feel like the thought process of the human mind is totally different for others. What else? I want to apologize for not really sticking to the truth. Like saying I also want to keep consistent. Haven't been consistent lately. Not gonna lie to you. But I've been dropping videos, day by day. But every video I drop is less space on this phone, and it's not the pictures no more. It's YouTube that's taking up space. So I gotta buy a new phone with more internal storage or buy a laptop. Either way, we gotta find something. So it's not that easy. I don't want to give up on this, right? Because everybody gets demotivated, everybody loses discipline. But I got a bigger, mission, Not just spreading wisdom or leading the youth, but to show that I truly care, you know. But who am I to say that I care? Because I'm a nobody. But once you be somebody, then you can say everything. You can say anything you want, actually. But I want a loyal fan base, a loyal supporters, a loyal cult-like fan base, right? But the videos might slow down just because external things, as in family and things I gotta do outside of just a little small box we call a phone, right? Everybody wants to be important. Everybody wants a spotlight. So once you get it, do you know how to use it correctly? Or are you gonna crumble because the light's too bright? Um, the overthinking has came back. Not gonna lie, because I've been looking at some old videos. I'm like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of cringy. I ain't gonna lie, I might take this down. But you gotta post something with essence. You gotta post something that's important to you or others, right? Everybody can't be a YouTuber. Everybody can't be a concert creator. Everybody can't be an artist. My biological father said, "You ain't gonna do it. You can't be it." And I was like, "All right, well, I'll just be a hobby, It'll be a hobby than anything else." Those words of discouragement really hit the heart because I don't need, you know, words and encouragement to really do it. I'm gonna just do it because I want to. I feel like there's different modes for everybody, right? One day I'm happy, I'm with the fam. The other days I'm sad, tired. We all fluctuate with emotions. It's a everlasting thing. So you must figure out how to really console those feelings. Mm. Honestly, it's not about hope. It's about dedication, right? Cause you be like, oh, I hope I get famous, or I hope I get this job, I hope this, but are you truly dedicated to it? People be like, are you willing to sacrifice? Why do I have to sacrifice every time I want to earn something? Equivalent exchange, they say. Something must be lost to be earned in a greater value, or equal value. But at the same time, I don't think it's worth it. You gotta lose something to gain, right? We put these human ideas and these human ideologies on things we don't understand, right? But some things, if you don't understand it, you either don't pay attention to it or you try to figure it out. The human mind is the most complex thing in the world. Because some people say, oh, we just live here. We're the only sentient beings because we're conscious, you know? Other beings could be conscious. Maybe we're just highly self-aware to the point where we just think we're the most important thing because that's how our minds are built. Um, I don't know though. I've been slacking lately. I haven't been feeling it. Everybody be like, "Oh, I'm running out of content. I'm running out of things to say." Well, me, I just I got a lot of things to say. Some things aren't fully important as others, but some are. You know, you tend to feel it, but as you mosey around in life, you tend to see that to gain attention, you have to do something foolish. All right. Let me tell y'all something. I don't got no tattoos. Well, technically I got tattoos. I don't got any visible tattoos on my body, right? And one video I said I will not so-called disgrace my body, but I won't change my physical appearance until I am known, because people tend to change their physical appearance to a point where they're unrecognizable just to get attention, and I won't be doing that. You know, I don't want to do that for the wrong reason. I do want to change my appearance. I want to do a lot of things, right? But I want to have a normal look to some extent, you know, because we all don't look normal to somebody. I look like an alien to somebody, you know. I just woke up out of bed, man. As you can see, I'm bloated, eyes baggy, as usual. Don't get it twisted. I have not lost my spark, you know. Spark has not been lost. It's just, I'm trying to figure it out, you know. We are. But the less confident you speak when you talk about the things you want to talk about, the less people will listen. So speak with encouragement, speak with endearment, speak with power. Have confidence in what you say, you know. Some days I speak with confidence, the other days I don't. Some reasons, you know. Some days the voices get to you, or they get to me. And others they don't, you know. Deuce, would you like to go into the house? You wanna look to the house? Alright, man, I'm gonna have to take this name, man. Should I leave y'all here? See, not with this fit on, y'all might clown me. I'll put y'all in another spot y'all should recognize by now. Back at it. I want to keep energy high, you know. Everybody wants to keep energy high in some matter of way, matter of speaking. You tend to devolve, not devolve, but devolve in ourselves, I guess. There's nothing wrong with focusing on yourself to build up a person that you want to be, right? There's nothing wrong with that at all. We all want to do that. But it gets to the point where if you're so self-centered, you become inconsiderate of others, not just their feelings, but their physical prowess. You tend to pass them along like a piece of salami meat, and that's not a good thing, right? The world is a gray area. The world loves to play the devil's advocate, and the world's so-called need to heal, right? But as you question yourself, why question others if you do the same thing, right? We all have invalid statements, and we all have our opinions and emotions. I wish I was really clairvoyant. Some of the titles on the videos will be tatted on me one day. We won't know which ones, but some will, and some that will be added, you know, later on in the years. But I will use my body as a creative outlet once I have enough financial stature to not ever need a regular 9 to 5, right? But right now we're still stuck in the same loop and cycle, which there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. I gotta keep it normal, right? You know, I don't want to look crazy, because once I look crazy, my words start to dissipate, and y'all won't take me serious. If I start speaking about how my mind's working, how I see things, right? You know, you don't want to be nobody wants to see me being as crazy. Nobody wants their statements or their words to be invalidated by somebody else because they don't understand them. Comprehension is the true power of the word, not communication. Comprehension, to fully understand what somebody's trying to tell you. It's impeccable to really validate somebody's statement, you know? Um, I'm losing a lot of time, right? Trying to stay normal, right? And everybody said, oh, everybody's trying to fit the social cues. Nobody is allowed to be an outlet. But it becomes a point where, are you trying to become an outlet, or you just want to be seen as different and unique by others? Are you truly an outlet to your mind and your body? Or is that how you express yourself? You express yourself by so-called being different, by changing your appearance, by doing things out of the use, being unique, being irregular. Do not conform to society norms. But if you're only doing it because you want to be different, then that's not a valid reason to change yourself, right? Appearance is everything. People might not say that, but appearance is everything, right? Maybe I will brand myself in a ugly state. I see myself not only as a person that does not appeal to others, but a person that wants to be seen as a true person, you know? Not everybody has to be self-aware or deep or intellectual or this so-called higher beings to understand that once you invalidate somebody's statement, it shows the character of your person, right? Everybody says something so deep. I want to be, you know, a psychological. Everybody wants to be a philosopher, right? But nobody has the time to really take care of it, right? Nobody wants to sit down and talk, because nobody has time for that. I don't even want to do that. I just want to lead the world, you know. High ambitions for a young individual like myself, right? It gets boring though, right? Nobody wants to go on your channel and watch you yap for 20 minutes every day, right? But that's all I got, you know. I might make a you know, a normal YouTube video. I might go skating or something for you know, for the normal viewers, and the people that come here to really hear what I so-called preach about, what I talk about. I applaud you about, because I know it's hard, because my attention span was ruined by so many social media outlets too. We were all equal. Equality is the facade, you know. Equality is the facade, but I want to make that true. I am no better than you, and you can be better than me if you think, but we're supposed to be the same. We all bleed the same, right? That's the only analogy that we like to use. People only say that when somebody's the so-called bigger or taller or stronger, but they bleed the same, right? I feel like that's a fallacy, one of the fallacies they use. But I want to know what you truly think about me, you know? Everybody has an opinion. Nobody truly knows who you are. They just know what you give. They know the facade, the alias, the persona, the mask you put on every day. And I put on a mask every day, right? You got 3 masks, they always say. How you perceived, your perception in yourself. Maybe I said that wrong, but it's what it is. Sorry for the gloomy day. I'm not feeling it. I couldn't sleep once again. I try to, you know, I try everything, right? I try to unplug. I turn the phone off a couple hours before I go to sleep. Drink milk, melatonin sprays, sleeping pills, all of that. It's not really working. I do meditation. That works sometimes. I meditate before I go to sleep. I try to take a hot shower, you know. But I'm not complaining about not having sleep, because the more sleep you get, I guess, the more powerful you get. Sleep is help for the, you know, growing the body once you're in the this state, because I'm still in the part of my life where I'm still growing physically and mentally, so that's kind of sucks. But since I'm not getting to sleep, I can't grow. I can't grow. But don't be hyper fixated on things that you cannot change. Change your mind. Change your mind, because if you can't change your body, then why try? But, you know, everybody has a shallow reason to choose somebody, right? You got the short guys that be like, oh, nobody's gonna pick me because of this, that, and the third. I mean, if they're not gonna pick you for that, then that's not the right person for you. And then, you know, it's a lot of things. You gotta degrade yourself before you spread your opinion, you know that? So people can semi still get it. But even when you do that, the people will still have hate on you. I'm I'm not I'm not the person to say who am I to say anything about looks. I'm child. I'm dead child. So who am I to talk about looks? But once it comes to that, you can be like, oh, people are unattractive. You don't have to say that. That okay, and what did you gain for spreading that opinion? But then they do this. They try to backtrack, be like, oh, but who am I to talk about that? I'm ugly too, yada yada yada. And then they'll go, what was that? Yo, was that a bird? I wonder how that looked when I flinched, cause whatever that was like dumb, fast, and big. That was a snake. That wasn't a bird. Oh yeah, that woke me up for sure. We might have to get out the spot, but back to what we was talking. Oh my lord, that was a snake that just. Bro, I thought it was a bird. But the audio probably didn't pick it up. I probably just look dumb scary right now. It's okay. Now I'm woken up, but yeah. People will try to soften the landing before they say something like that, you know? And I hate that. That's it. We're in a world of what is and what could and this is that and the third, you know? Where we was at like around 50, what was it, 53? We lost a couple subscribers. I'm hurt. But I didn't say anything controversial yet. But if you leave, maybe this channel is not for you, you know? But we're not the type to be like, oh, if you can't handle the heat, stay out the kitchen, because that's dumb. I try to not cater, but I try to see in every perspective. So I looked at the videos I dropped when those people unsubscribe. I'm like, I'm just thinking of every snippet. I'm like, what did I say? I wonder, what did I say to offend that person or think, oh, this guy's not the person I thought he was. Unsubscribe, you know? You gotta take in consideration we all have feelings, right? Bro, is something on me? Alright, it's time to move spots once again. It's not the paranoia, it's the creatures. Alright, we're gonna take a little pit stop right here, and then we're gonna change our direction once again. Yeah. I truly believe in manifestation, right? You can manifest anything you want. I want to be the biggest artist and the biggest person in the world, right? Not for a moment, but for decades. Maybe that's too much to ask, but you gotta work, you gotta grind for it. It's a lot of things we cannot control, but things you can control is that mouth of yours, right? If you know it's gonna offend somebody, right? Don't try to soften the landing. Speak to them as a equal, not as somebody that's beneath you because they think differently. That is a lower way of thinking. Alright. I'm not gonna say who am I to tell you that. I'm just gonna say it, right? But people that say they give no F's, they truly do give a F. They don't care how it affects them in some type of way. So I be freeze framing my videos and I be pausing and my face be looking sharp, but I be like, or my one eye be open or mouth be closed, bro. And I hate this angle because I can't even see me right now, but like, you can see my double chin, all my imperfections. But I try to stay like that because I want you to see all my imperfections. I won't try to add no filters on how video or edit it out because, you know, it's a true state of mind. Didn't we create a word one video? I wonder if we're still using that. And guess what? We're going to another OG spot. My first ever video was in this backyard. And that was only a couple months ago, so. I might start making videos at my house, you know. But I don't know. Your boy gets scared. He might get doxxed one day. If I'm still living there. Bam. Bam, sickle, wow, wow. Wait, hold up. I thought it was a spider web. We're doing pretty good with the communication. But it's the comprehension. Is it really reaching to you? Also, 500 subscribers for the end of the year. How am I gonna do that when I don't tell you how to subscribe? I talk and then I leave. So try to sub up, you know. People get self-conscious of their looks and what they say just because they don't know how people perceive them. Perception is everything, right? With that in mind, people trying to put on things just to appeal to others, right? Put on things you like, you know? Don't wear name brands because you think it's hot, because it's the niche thing. Put on things you like. Accomplish the things that you think is worth it. One thing, I'm not gonna lie, I've been overthinking about this a lot. I'm thinking about taking down the TikTok, alright? The TikTok is too, I hate to say, it's too corny and cringy for me. I don't know, I'm not ready for that, bro. It's not the judgment, but I'm glad I did posted it to the point so that maybe if somebody saves a video or something and I do blow up, they can go back and watch it. But I'm thinking about taking it down, mainly because it's not getting no views or likes. It's not me. It's not authentic enough, I guess. Yeah. But other than that, we're doing pretty good. I guess we about to do another spot, right? Dang, Solitude, you can't sit nowhere, huh? Oh, lordy. What is this angle? Oh, lordy, lord. Oh, lord. Good evening, young ones. How are you doing? I can at least thought. Or I love others' opinions when it comes to this type of thing, because other opinions tend to shine lights on things I don't perceive or I don't see yet. Keeping an open mind doesn't mean you're a good person. Keeping an open mind means you're open for anything. Yeah? Playing devil's advocate does not help each side. It's just you got to see what benefits you the most when it comes to that. All right. Everybody's opinion is not going to match others, so if you disagree with me, doesn't mean you have to hate me. You can still respect the human, all right? But sometimes people die behind what they say, and that's a crazy thing. But hey fam, don't mean because listen, that's how I see it. Don't mean because you ain't do the do, you ain't tell them to do the do that caused them to do the do. So you might have not like went out your way to hit that person, but indirectly you instigated that person to get hit. That's the same shoot. That's just the most simplest way I can put it, and then maybe you can place that on more complex situations later on in the world. I try not to connect anything I say with the current events in the world because it's a slippery slope. Because they be like, who are you to say? They tend to use my age for my naiveness. I was. Never mind. Yeah. This is a horrible angle. I'm not gonna lie to you. mm, but we'll be alright. How y'all been feeling lately? I mean, how you been feeling? I hate saying y'all. How are you been feeling lately? Been doing good? That's good. How the kid? Let me stop. You're not doing that. Getting any new leagues, new games and stuff. I don't really play games anymore. I don't know why. Maybe because the internet's butt or something. I don't know. I just don't play games anymore. It just doesn't suit me. I want to start playing games again, but every time I play a game, bro, I just get mad. Like, not at the game or me losing, just I get mad because, like, I don't know, my hands can't configure to, I guess, devices to control something. I don't know. I got bad nerves. Yeah. Oh my god, this was a pretty long video right here. Sorry, I be wearing it out. Before the month's about to end, I got 2 PTs coming up back to back because I missed one. I was supposed to get a football to start training my shoulder, but it seems like I've been postponing. I've been procrastinating lately. What else? I want another video to blow up like one of my videos did. Cognitive dissociation. Yeah, it was cognitive. It was that one. Yeah, that one didn't blow up, but it got around like 500, 600 views. But I'm not really a numbers guy yet. Once I start making some revenue, then I'll be a numbers guy. Then I'll start thinking. But once I get older, I do want a money advisor, right? Not because I'm lazy, but I feel like if I get a money advisor, and then I start investing, you know, I won't just go dirt broke like MC Hammer. All right, let me not diss him. But yeah. Oh yeah, we tend to make references that some people don't know because pop culture is different between every. Oh, that was my hair. Oh, my hair getting long. I thought it was a bug on my neck. Because we tend to have different connections with pop culture and culture and just and so some references might not click with you because